Welcome to the Business and Technology Academic and Career Pathway, or ACP, workshop. Today's focus is on the Computer Studies and Information Technology, or CSIT, department. Our faculty today are Steve Isaacson and Rick White.
Okay, awesome. And then can we, so Valerie, yeah, I see in the chat you have a question regarding analytics. I think it's fine to ask questions as we go along. No point to save them up to the end. Go ahead.
So I am a business major and I was thinking of transferring into doing marketing, but I'm currently taking the digital media course, social media marketing. And my professor mentioned to maybe look into getting a certificate in Google Analytics. Do you think that also implies like learning data and analytics? Does that?
Well, okay. So who is your professor, Valerie?
Isabella Jenkinson, I believe.
Okay, so you're taking Isabella Janovic. So your class is CSIT 155, Social Media for Business.
Yes.
One of the most popular classes in our department. And there is a certificate in the business department that is a Social Media for Business certificate. So that's an option for you as a marketing major or a business major is to add that certificate on, possibly. That's something you and I could talk about. And then what Isabella is talking about is when you take a class with us, typically we're going to expose you to a variety of industry certifications that are possible as an outcome of that class. So I think, and again, you'll want to ask Isabella more about this, but I think what she's recommending is that you pair your knowledge from CSIT 155 with a class in Google Analytics and all of the big providers, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Oracle, PeopleSoft. I mean, every single large technology platform out there has certifications in their platform. Google has dozens of certifications under the Google brand. And so the answer generally, and I'll let Rick see what, I'll ask him to confirm this, is just, in IT, certifications matter and industry certifications matter. And so when you come out of your educational experience at MiraCosta, if you have a degree, a certificate, some specialized classes maybe, and then also an industry certification, that's a big deal. That matters. That adds value to your resume to an employer that's looking for that. So do you want to, Rick, talk about that as from your perspective?
Yeah, well, it's so timely because, our Club IT, we've been bringing in Club IT, which is, technologists. And again, it kind of sometimes can be a little scary, like, oh, I don't want to be with all these technology kind of nerds. But it's really a fantastic place to network as far as understanding kind of just technology and what opportunities are there, because they're all students that are kind of in the tech world in all different aspects. So what we've been doing is trying to bring in people that are industry leaders. So we had the senior VP of engineering for Smart Drive come in. And last night we had BAE's senior cybersecurity expert come in. And they're all talking about these are kind of candidates that we're looking for. These are how we validate candidates. These are things that are important, right? And what I'm hearing is that a lot of times that it's not just the degree, but they want, if you don't have a lot of industry experience, they'll say, hey, if you have a certificate, then we know that you've kind of taken the time to really understand the concepts, and that'll be a good stepping off point. So we really tried to emphasize that in the CSIT department and make things, really kind of digestible and understandable. There's a lot of really wonderful teachers in the program that'll really kind of, blunt any, kind of scariness. And if you have the time to get in and take some classes just to experience it, I think it's a very worthwhile experience.
Yeah. So just to go on a little bit with your question, Valerie, as I move to Nina, as you can if you can, I still am not able to start my screen sharing because you're sharing, Nina. So if you could, there we go. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to share with you just along these lines and getting to your question, Valerie. I'll get there a little bit more, but I want to start, I'm going to come back to your question, Valerie, about this concept of industry certification versus local degrees and certificates at MiraCosta. So, okay, so if you go to miracosta.edu/CSIT, so let's just start. This is our Computer Studies and Information Technology homepage, our department homepage. There's a terrific video here that I think will give you some context just for how, as we get to the end of this and we start talking about the outcomes, the desired outcome is like employment and high wage, high paying jobs. And so cybersecurity is one of the hotter areas in the department, but this video here is very short. It just gives you a taste, a feel. So I'm going to play that. And then as I play it, Rick White, if you could give me a thumbs up, letting me know like just the sound and you can see the video playing.
I'm really excited about our cybersecurity degree. Within the San Diego region, there's over 4,000 cybersecurity jobs, including the Department of Defense, as well as local companies within the MiraCosta district, such as Viasat and Proficio. And this even stems even more jobs throughout the nation, even throughout the world. Cybersecurity is required everywhere.
Cybersecurity is protecting your computer from internal or external attacks on your environment.
Cybersecurity is important because it's all around us. It's from the cell phones you use to the computers. Now everything is smart, so anything can be hacked, which is why we need to protect ourselves against that.
Companies are hiring people just to find bugs in their systems, and that's very much part of cybersecurity.
MiraCosta provides us with VMware as well as Microsoft Imagine so we can produce home labs and practice and do the stuff that we're learning about in class. But more importantly, actually in class, it's not just lecture and tests. We have physical labs. In CSIT 170, we actually built our own PCs to practice our labs on.
The most valuable lesson I've learned is how to apply all of the knowledge that we're learning in class into our future jobs.
With a degree in cybersecurity, you can be anything from a forensics analyst for your local police department to a security systems analyst for a much bigger company. I think I made a really good choice when I chose MiraCosta. Just from the beginning, everybody was super helpful, from staff to anyone you talk to. They just really wanted to help you out.
That's our very own star student, Paula, who is joining us here in this call. So shout out to Paula there. Hi, Paula. So very cool kind of video that gives you a flavor. And our department website is such a great spot to get a feel for everything we're talking about. So as we scroll down, some of your career options are discussed here. This is by no means everything. I mean, IT applies to every field, but these are like IT specific career paths. And then as we scroll down further, we have a nice success story here from Nick Sultanian, who has been a very successful grad of ours. We have many, many success stories that we could share with you, because one of the things that we do that's unique in our department is that if you're going to get a degree or certificate with us, one of the requirements is that you're going to have to do an internship, or you're going to have to build a portfolio and do career study, or you're going to have to come out with a certification of some kind. And so to your question, Valerie, again, we have classes, we have certificates and degrees, and then kind of beyond that you might add onto that, which is what Professor Janovic's recommending to you, is something like an industry certification, a vendor specific certification like Google, analytics, or whatever that certification was that she recommended. So anything involving data science, analytics, right now is super valuable and super hot, and it applies to marketing and social media, because that's how companies are using data to target more effective marketing and to tune Instagram and Facebook and the ads that you see to the audience. And so the specific audience, becoming much more refined in how that data is being used to make sure that they're reaching their customers that need their products in real time, and that those ads are accurate. So as we scroll down here, I want to just draw your attention to the different certificates we offer and the classes. But instead of looking at this, I want to come all the way down here to this link. It's probably the most important link on our website, and this is something you can look at when this session is over. You can look at in more detail. But as I click on this, you're going to see that we have our certificates in achievement laddered and described from a color coding system from less technical to more technical. Okay, so business information worker, those are on the less technical ends. As we progress through our 8 certificates of achievement that can also be degrees if they're paired with general education courses in 60 units, we go all the way up to cybersecurity. And then certificates of proficiency, we have these designed to introduce you to these 8 certificates of achievement here, and they all flow into those. And then down below, we have our classes coded as well as sort of less technical and more technical. So one of the things that I was asked is, where do you start? And so as we look at, we have about 30 classes in the department here, and the one that Valerie was referring to is right here. Many students, if they're business students and they have some computer background, they might be taking an Excel class, CSIT 128, or that social media business class. If you're brand new to computers and you don't have any experience at all, 101 is our start. And then 110 and 120 are kind of our general survey classes. And we have a lot of sections of those and a lot of students. And then Valerie, there's that 123, that data analytics, which is not using the Google tools as a platform, but is getting into those same concepts of how do we take big data sets and work with them and refine them down. And so 101, 110, 120, those are sort of our gateways into a lot of our curriculum and a lot of our upper level classes. And then you'll see 180, which is our gateway into our highest level classes, our most technical classes, fundamentals of computer networking and security, Windows Server, Linux Server, analyst, ethical hacker, Cisco, etc. And then there's those career exploration, professional certification preparation classes. We have a couple general education classes that fulfill the UC and CSU GE area requirements. 160 fulfills area D for the IGETC pattern, and or area 4 rather for the IGETC pattern, and area D for the CSU pattern, and 165 fulfills area E for the CSU pattern, and area 4 for the UC pattern. So we have a lot of different offerings here. We have a whole 4 business series, 125 through 137, that are all those applications within a business context. And as we scroll down, we'll see those degrees that you saw at the top. We'll see those degrees and certificates, and then what's required to earn them. And then once you have that degree, or once you're in your last semester or second to last semester, and you're really thinking about moving into the workforce and getting an internship or a career, those are sort of our next set of slides that Nina's going to cover in terms of job outcomes and what the wages are and what the opportunities are. But before I go to that, is there any questions about like our classes, our sequencing, this document, what our certificate options are. Does anybody have any questions about this? So again, where did we find that? On the Computer Studies homepage, down here at the bottom, our first link kind of crystallizes all those options in our department. And then Rick was talking a little bit earlier about our club, and I think that's something that's unique in our department. Our club is really, really popular, and it's a great place to build community and connect with other students. And I'll click on that link right now, and I'd encourage you to explore that webpage and take a look here at these two recordings from the guest lectures that Rick was referring to a few minutes ago. Those have been the last 2 weeks. So, the club has guest speakers, but they also do things like, eat pizza and fly drones and do, help nonprofits with their computer needs and, work on computers. And we have an Oculus Rift system. And so the club's doing everything virtually right now. And the club's open to anyone. You don't have to be in CSIT. So this is the link right here. And, check it out. They meet every Wednesday at 3:30. Probably last meeting of the semester next week, right, Rick? Yeah. Do you have anything to add about the club, Rick? Rick is one of our co-advisors on the club, so he's there every week.
Yeah. I just want to say that, a lot of, especially what students should embrace about CSIT is the exploration and the learning. We're all here to facilitate that. And there's lots and lots of resources here, for your exploration. And Club IT is one part of it. And, our courses, that Steve outlined, those all are breadcrumbs for you. Give yourself a chance to really kind of understand where technology fits into what it is that you're building in your career. And I think, you'll be amazed at how many opportunities will just reveal themselves to you.
Yeah, really well said. And take a look here. I just want to scroll through. These are many of our faculty experts. Many of them are working in industry. So these are not people that are just teaching, although that is what, Rick Cassoni, myself, and Rick White do. We're full-time teachers at MiraCosta, but every one of these folks is also employed in industry, in IT. These are your mentors. These are your supporters. These are when you take their classes. Valerie, you mentioned Isabella. Here she is. Isabella is a prolific social media consultant, trainer, and has her own business and is one of the most successful social media designers and consultants in San Diego. And she teaches upper division at Cal State San Marcos. And, this is just a fantastic group of people. I mean, Abdi here, this is the director of information systems for the entire college here at MiraCosta. Claudia Falk owns Aztec Brewery, a very successful local business. Don Dean works for Boeing. I mean, these are people, Tim McLean's on the base at Camp Pendleton as their cybersecurity and data officer. Deborah Sable's up at De Anza College doing great work up there. I mean, these are people that are out working. They're successful. These are people that are great people to learn from. So I wanted to share that list with you just to give you a sense of just how big our department is and the type of folks that you would be interacting with. And I know we're getting to that 30-minute mark, Nina, where you want to talk about the career piece. So we'll do that in a minute. I want to tell you that we have an active Instagram presence and Facebook presence. So if you click here on our Instagram page and follow us there, you'll see, have a way to connect with the department, and you can see all of the different stuff that we're doing and that we're involved in. And as you scroll back here, I mean, you'll see some really exciting stuff. here's an outreach effort that we were involved in with Oceanside Middle School students, teaching them how to use Scratch programming with Raspberry Pi systems that we have as part of our club, and setting those up. And what you can see all of the students here who are having the opportunity to give back and work with those students. Or you can see here a tech talk that we host annually. And all of these folks sitting up here at the panel, these are all people. I can see, you know, somebody right here in the middle who is Director of Information Insurance at SAIC, right? Or not SAIC, Viasat, huge company in Carlsbad that's doing satellite internet. You know, opportunities, real world opportunities. Here's another picture of students interacting with the Director of Hiring at Robert Half International. You know, there's a lot of different departments and a lot of fields of study at MiraCosta, but this is one that is hands-on and it's real. You can touch the technology. You got a department that's super engaged. We're out in the community. There's Paula again. And I think that there's just a lot of exciting reasons to think about taking CSIT classes and being involved with our department. So is there any other questions before I turn it over to Nina and kind of go back to the PowerPoint, and she can share some of the wage and job outcomes, some of like what you can expect, what the opportunities are like. Any other questions? We do have you know, in addition to partnering with, you know, San Marcos and SDSU and having all those transfer opportunities, we also have a local transfer opportunity with Point Loma Nazarene to get a bachelor's degree on campus at MiraCosta for the same price as a CSU degree to do your next 2 years after you finish your general education at MiraCosta. And so if that's something you're interested in, you'll want to email me or Rick White afterwards and ask questions about that. That's exciting too. Those classes are taught in our same labs. Not with COVID right now, but you know, they are being done virtually.